Hey, welcome to Popcorn Perspective. It's AK once more bringing you another Bad Batch Season 3, Episode 4 review and breakdown. What did you all think about Episode 4? I personally think it might be the worst of the four episodes we've gotten thus far, but the last 5 or 6 minutes definitely made up for the lull, which, I mean, based on what happened on the previous episodes definitely makes sense. So basically, the way the episode starts off is exactly where we left the episode on episode 3. Omega and Crosshair they escaped Tantus, and now they're on the run. They're in a nearly destroyed ship, trying to make land at the nearest planet in order to either get the ship repaired or to find passageway off the ship to escape the oncoming forces from Tantris, who are still trying to find them, Hemlock and crew. So that's basically what we start off. Is they kind of do have crash landing in this isolated planet, which seems to be within the same sector or near the planet of where Mount Tantus is at, uh, due to some things that happened towards the end of the episode. But regardless of the location or the distance, they crash land and now they have to either get the vehicle repaired or find a way off the planet to find the rest of the Bad Batch. So they realize the ship is going to take way too long to repair. They kind of just stranded. They leave the ship stranded in the middle of the planet, who knows where, and they travel to the nearest city that they noticed on their way crash landing. On the way to the city, they realize there's definitely an influx of Imperial stormtroopers monitoring the area. Makes sense as it's close to Tantarus. Plus, on top of that, obviously we know the Emperor is increasing their forces and increasing their militant presence among all planets. So definitely continues to add to the storyline that season one and season two have built upon with the stormtroopers and the ever growing presence of the Empire all around the galaxy. Um, Plus, you do have easily one of the best looking new Stormtrooper designs. I freaking loved it. The heavy looking Stormtrooper with the cloak on and the goggles. Don't know why a Stormtrooper needs a goggle, but I liked it. The design looked amazing. But continue with the storyline. So basically, Omega and Crosshair they uh, are told because they don't have the proper credits or not the credits. I do apologize. The code in order to leave the planet, which we saw in season one and season two, is you need a certain type of code now to leave planets. That way they can monitor who all is going in and out of the planet. Obviously, Omega and obviously Crosshair does not have one because they've been on the run from the Emperor for the last couple of seasons. So that definitely makes sense why they won't have one. Um, and then basically they try to use their charisma check. They roll the dice. They passed the charisma check. Sorry, talking Baldur's Gate. I've been playing a lot of that. I've been addicted. So a lot of the verbiage, a lot of the analogies I'm using is very much Dungeons and Dragons inspired. Thanks, but definitely thanks Boulder Gate. But no, so basically Omega and Crosshair they have a conflict of how to go across getting a ship and leaving the planet. Crosshair wants to blow shit up. He wants to shoot and kill and steal. Obviously, that's all he's learned. That's all he's done. He was a soldier for the Republic for the last 5 6 years, and that's all he knows. Omega, she's been with the batch, and she's seen how to negotiate. She's seen how to play around and get things done without being violent. Uh, to an extent, and she said, "Hey, let's talk to the ticket guy. See if we can buy a ticket off planet." So, like I said, she goes there, she rolls a charisma check, and she passes. And she convinces the guy to let them on without using his codes. But he did ask for credits. A lot of credits. He asked for quite a lot of credits to sneak them on board, including their pet Batcher, the pet dog Hound that she rescues from episode 1 and 3. So it kind of shows us, it's still building upon she's incredibly smart and lucky. Now we understand based on episode three's ending. It's most likely force related, metachlorians, count, whatever you want to call it. definitely impacting or influencing how Omega can get this lucky. But she and Crosshair goes to a bar and she competes in some kind of game, a card game. I'm not sure. Is this the same card game that they did in Solo, where Han Solo wins the Millennium Falcon from Lando Calrissian? I think it might be a similar game, different culture, different planet. Might play it differently, but it looks similar to that. Not sure what the game's called. Is it Kabars? Kabar? I can't. I don't know what the name of the game's called. I can't recall. But so she plays that. I think it's the same game she also played with Sid in season one when they met Roland. That episode. A lot of season one callbacks with Roland from episode two, and then played the card game in episode three. So that's interesting to see. Not sure that's just to show because the show's ending. They're doing a lot of circles, poetry. George Lucas likes to say poetry, everything rhymes. So bringing back things from season one onto the last season. I'm not sure, but I'm rambling. So she competes with some locals and she ends up winning. We know this from season one. Omega, for some reason, just does not lose when it comes to card games. She needs to be a little more tactful. Personally speaking, she needs to lose a few games, lose a few hands, make it seem like that she's not just lucky, but she's just a good player because luck definitely raises red flag, especially with Imperial soldiers running around, which happens. An Imperial soldier walks in to get a drink with some of his commanders, or some of his stormtroopers patrol. While he's getting a drink and talking to the bartender, who's a droid, the droid basically says like, "Oh yeah, she and her dad," which is funny enough. I don't think they ever called any of the other Bad Batch members her dad. Obviously, a lot of reference points, a lot of foreshadowing of a father figure, but I don't think they've ever called anybody a dad. So it's kind of funny the person she's been with the least amount of time, Crosshair, is referred to her as her dad. But the Imperial officer kind of demands Omega to play a game with them. They play a few hands. He loses a few hands. Uh, and he seems to be okay. He seems, he's Imperial, so you automatically don't trust him, but he seems to be understanding. Hey, I lost, whatever, move on with my life. But you owe me a tax because this game is technically illegal. Imperial trying to make the money, so he cons Omega into giving him, I think it's like 10,000 credits. Uh, I think they need like 25 to get off. I think right now they're like 40 credits, so she's made more than enough to leave the planet. So she pays a 10,000, bring him down a notch, which kind of hurts. And then I think they're up like 5 or 10,000 left, which is fine. But then he's like, oh, and now there's also a 5,000 or 500, whatever the tax is, because you guys are new to this. So I now need to tax you guys for being new to the planet, which increases. While this all is going on, is the ship is now found by Imperial, I guess, stormtroopers who were flying around the area, patrolling the area. They found their destroyed ship, and they call it in. And this, I felt like this was going to go the other way. Personally, I felt like this was all just red herring. Oh, don't trust the Imperial soldier. Don't trust him. Don't trust him. He's gonna be bad. And then I thought they're gonna play it in a case where there's no hassle. They can get off the ship. They can get off the plane with no issue. I thought they're gonna play kind of coy. No, he's just a dick. So he taxes, gets the tax money. Omega and Crosshair both look now. At the wits end, they kind of irritated with this guy. Uh, so whatever. He leaves the bar, and he leaves with his stormtroopers, and he does his own thing. Omega, Crosshair, they kind of regroup and they walk out together. And unfortunately, who's missing? The dog Batcher. And one of the local citizens looks to be a starving child, unfortunately. Looks like he's a beggar asking for money, asking for money. He kind of like, hey, I told you where your dog went for more money. So it seems like everybody in this place is willing to bargain or negotiate for money. The ticket booth guy is willing to do so. The Imperial Stormtrooper just made like $15,000 off of Omega. So, I mean, credits. So they unwillingly give the 5,000 to the little kid to let him know, oh, the Imperial guy stole your dog. What an ass. What an asshole. So they go to the docking station where we see a whole bunch of animals that don't look native to the planet. They may be, but regardless, they see a lot of locked up animals. which is odd. I feel like this season has done this so far now 3 times, 4 times. Yeah, about four every episode this season. They have some kind of animal or beast that is imperiled by the empire. We have the Sarlacc pit that they created, that they most likely did some kind of torture or some kind of mutation to create that Sarlacc pit monster from episode 2. We have the bear beast from episode 1 and 3. Obviously, we have the hounds that's being worked on, and we don't know what Project Necromancer is, so they're working on some kind of animal or species or hybrid or mutation. So I don't know what the focus on animals are, and I'm very curious to see if this is going to be a motif that's going to continue every episode. Oh, there's going to be animal every episode, something to do with them. Interesting. I'm curious. So Omega said, "Fine, Corsair, let's do it your way. My way failed. Playing the long con, making the money, bribing bribing the ticket booth guy, and escaping via like that. So Corsair does what Corsair does best: opens fire. Omega releases all the animals. Batcher, their hound, reunites with them, and it's a kind of a nice reminiscent scene from like Jurassic Park, where you have all those dinosaurs, in this case animals or beasts, just running rampage down the alley, and you have all the stormtroopers, jumping out of the way, running, and a crossfire happens between Corsair, Omega, Batcher, and the troopers. They take one of the ships that were docked there, and they basically get the fuck out. But before they do so, it's kind of acknowledged that, oh, Hemlock is the one who called in the report. So now we know there's multiple different officers around all the planets who are searching for them. And that's how the officer stole the dog. He put two together after he got the report that there's a destroyed ship that crash landed. The report with Hemlock, so he kind of put two together. So he kidnapped the dog in order to prolong time for Hemlock to arrive on the planet to take back what's, at his point of view, rightfully theirs. Omega and Crosshair. I really cannot wait to see Hemlock die this season. That's going to be so much fun to watch. But basically, that's how the whole episode takes place. The whole episode is, should we go with Crosshair's methodology, shoot everybody, and ask questions later, or should we play with Omega's point of view? Uh, play with what she knows, win money, escape by convincing and befriending people. That's always what Omega's been about. She never has been a act first, think later. She's always been let's think logically about how she approaches things. Makes sense. She definitely learned a lot from Hunter, and that's how Hunter's always been. Hunter is the commander, the strategist of the group, with his uh, enhanced vision or enhanced senses that Hunter has. Looks like Omega has that, but now it seems to be that is all based on the Force. We know she has a high M count, so I'm very curious on if they're going to keep dropping Easter eggs of her Force abilities. Um, and then this is where I think the episode excels at. Beautifully done. Omega finally reunites with the Batch. She reunites with Wrecker. She reunites with Hunter. And I loved the way the episode just ends, with Crosshair leaving that stolen ship, approaching the Bad Batch ship, and the look on Hunter and Wrecker's face. Do we trust you? Do we take out guns and point it at you? Do we embrace you? You gotta remember, these guys are still reeling by the death of their friend and their brother, Echo, from last season. No, no, not Echo. I do apologize. Tech from last season. Echo is still with Rex during the clone rebellion, which I hope we show more of. But that's where that episode ends. Literally just cuts to black with Hunter and Wrecker and Omega looking back at Crosshair. Please, Disney, please, Star Wars, do not do this whole thank you for rescuing Omega, but we don't want you with us. Embrace him, bring him back into the group. I want to see Crosshair reunited and accepted back into the Bad Batch group. I think they're going to go that route. maybe an episode of disputes and issues, kind of like what they did with Rex and Kanan from the Rebels TV show when Rex joins the group. There's a little animosity because Kanan is like, "Hey, y'all turned on the Jedi's and I don't trust the clones anymore," and he's like, "Let me build my rapport with them." I don't mind that. Just do not just kick him out of the group and just leave him to be by himself. That would piss me off a lot. He's gone through a lot across here and he needs a family back. Um, like I said, that's where the episode ends. One thing that is still kind of irritating me, and don't get me wrong, this season has been great. This season has been, in my opinion, the strongest starting season of season one and two. Season three has started off the strongest. But where is Echo? It's been 4 episodes, and I think he's been name dropped 2 times. I love Echo. I know he's with Rex, and I know they're doing that clone rebellion. I really want to see more of that. One thing I really hope this season does is continue the political drama that season one and season two had. The clone redistribution. Where are they going to be? How are we going to fund the clones now that they're no longer our soldiers? Are we going to give them a place to live? Are the clones going to rebel from the Emperor? And is the Empire going to put them down, kill them all, massacre them? Will not put it past the Emperor and the Empire. I hope not. Because we know with Rebels, Rex and Wolf, and there's one other, Krager, they live on that one planet, isolated, away from everyone. I want to know how does Rex get from planning a rebellion for all clones to isolated and basically a hermit on a planet far away. So I'm hoping we show more of that. What I'm looking forward to, obviously from the trailers, we know that um, a lot of characters are making a return. Like we know Ventress is making a return. I really want to see how she's going to make her return to Star Wars, especially since we know Ventress, well, apparently died in the Dark Disciple books, where she basically gives her life away for the person she loves, Quinlan Voss, which was also name dropped in Obi-Wan. Just saying, I know Obi-Wan and Quinlan Voss had their had a little back and forth in the Clone Wars TV show. I think Quinlan Voss was only like 2 episodes, 3 episodes, but he killed every episode he was in. And Ventress, we know, was the Dark Disciple, or I mean, that's the book name, but the apprentice of Count Dooku, who basically gave her life up to save Quinlan Voss. Do we get a Quinlan Voss and Ventress reunion? Because apparently she's still alive, and since Obi-Wan name dropped Quinlan Voss, and this takes place roughly before the Obi-Wan TV show, from my understanding, I don't mind showing Quinlan Voss and Ventress. I want to see that happen. Also, we know from the trailers is everyone's favorite Boba Fett, the friend of Boba Fett, Fennec Shand, his right hand man or woman is in the show. She's making a return. I think she was in season one, a few episodes about Hunter hunting Omega. Definitely want to see more of her. I know she's in the trailer. Little Agent of Shield reference here for the Agent of Shield fan. Ming Na Ren played the Calvary. There is an episode towards the end of the season called the Calvary. It would be a nice nod to us fans of the Agent of Shield TV show. The Calvary, you know, is the episode that Ming Na Rin returns. Fennec Shan returns. I would love that. Great actor. Love her as an actress and a voice actor. She's brilliant. So I would love to see that. But that was my thoughts on Bad Batch episode 3. I don't think it's the best episode, but I think it's building to a lot, and I'm definitely interested to see where things laid off. Comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you love this episode. Where does this episode rank so far in the first 4 episodes we've gotten? Let me know what you think. Well, I'll talk to you guys next week. You guys have a great day. Bye.